live.
Yeah? Hey guys, so this is my new friend. We can say we're friends. We've known each other like 8 minutes now.
Yes,
so
we have a lot in common.
Whatever constitutes friendship, I would say that's it. This is Raluca Gold-Fuchs. On top of what we will get into, which is the fact that we can commiserate about having a 1.5-year-old child who has no interest in sitting still, following directions, having their diaper changed peacefully, or anything else. Raluca's husband is Christian Fuchs. Do you know who that is? Because I knew the name and I was like, oh, that's a famous person. It's a famous soccer player. It's like an amazing soccer player. He plays for
Leicester City in England.
Leicester City in England, but he played for the Austrian World Cup team, right?
He was the captain of the Austrian national team.
I mean, hello, he's like the LeBron James of soccer, this guy. Okay, go on.
So Christian plays soccer, and as you know, Leicester won the Premier League in England. So just like you, we have an extremely busy life.
Sure.
He leaves me alone all the time.
On purpose or because he
has to work?
He has to work.
But I know your feeling of your partner saying goodbye and then being gone for a long time and having to be alone with the kids, and it's not fun.
It's not fun.
And you think you do it once. I do it every 3 weeks. So those hard goodbyes of no help and no support.
It's tough.
Except emotional support is very hard.
Talk to me about the life of a soccer player. When he leaves for, do they play one game, a couple games? Is it a road trip, everything in that era? How does it work?
Well, first of all, we live in 2 separate countries, 2 separate continents across a big ocean. So when he leaves, he's gone for almost a year. So
I'm sorry, it sounded like you said he's gone for almost a year, and here I just waxed poetic about being alone for a month, and it was really just a day and a half.
Right. So when he's with the team for the season is almost all year long, except 1 month during the summer. So he's in England, I'm in New York, for very different reasons. We have children that go to school here. So I do all the traveling. I go to England every 3 weeks so that we can spend time together.
Whoa.
And then when and if he can, he'll come here for a day.
But why don't... Oh, so you have like personal stuff that you can't live in England. Otherwise,
my base is in New York because of my older son who goes to school here, and we're going to eventually be based in New York together when he's done playing soccer. But for different reasons, I have to be based here, so otherwise I would be there.
So here's me talking about how sad it was for her to leave for a month, and you do this every 3 weeks.
There's always worse.
You're absolutely right. There is. Now you have a 1.5-year-old.
Yes, and a 7-year-old.
And a 7-year-old.
Yes.
So can we just talk about the little guy for a second?
Go for it.
He's wild, right?
He's crazy, full of energy.
Mind of his own.
Either sleeps or runs. There's no in between.
There's no in between.
Right.
Yeah, like I was telling you, I take Quinny out of the crib and the legs are already raring to go, and I just have to, like a wind-up doll, I just put her down in whatever direction she's gone.
And they go. And I finally gave my son a soccer ball. I'm like, go play with it. And he's playing with it. So I'm like, oh, it must be the father. It's not me. I like to relax. He doesn't.
Right.
So it's not me.
Isn't that funny how that happens? I mean, he's probably not even around Christian enough to have that daily, everyday influence of having 1,000 soccer balls all over the house.
It's not that. It's not. But if you leave him in a huge open space, he will be gone. Gone. He will not stay next to me. He just wants to run, go, do whatever he can do, not to sit down.
Isn't that hard in a New York City apartment? We find that so hard.
She's
literally
hard.
Bouncing
and
off the
because of it, I
walls.
said I need more space, so I moved to Harlem so I can get a lot more space. So now every hour I put him on a different floor so he can do something else.
That is so fantastic. If you need another one that looks just like yours but of a different gender, I'm more than happy to bring mine over to do the whole different floor thing.
Yeah. I'll take it for an hour so I can take a nap after.
If that,
yes.
I'm sure. No, it's really hard.
It is not easy, and being alone with all the help in the world. I have my mother, I have a nanny. It doesn't matter. Having that partner there that you can 100% trust and give the child to is a big difference.
It's a really big difference. And I think you and I also have something in common in that when Christian leaves, you at least get to see him work. You get to watch him
on TV
the same way I get to watch
I know what
Stephanie
he does.
on TV. Correct.
Right.
He can't be telling you he's off to play Real Madrid when really he's like really doing something else, right? Like that's not something that he's going to do.
And I do know the schedule because it's very public.
Yes. So, yes, they tend to make soccer schedules public now so that
then when the game is over, I know exactly in 20 minutes I can call him and I have to reach him. Otherwise there's a problem. Otherwise he's in a hospital.
Minutes. Right, exactly. And like for example, you're following him now.
I am. They're playing Barcelona in Sweden. It's a friendly game.
How fancy, first of all, does that sound? They're playing Barcelona in Sweden. It's a friendly game. They all run around and high-five each other and like compliment each other.
It's 1-0 for Barcelona right now, minute 31. And probably Messi scored. I can't tell you who scored, but I'm pretty sure he probably scored.
That's the first soccer update we've
ever. But here's what I heard. Like, there was a guy, he's really messy, and he scored. And I'm like, that guy got lucky in the middle of a game, he scored.
No.
Oh my God, that guy's amazing. Like, I love this sport.
El Haddadi scored. El Haddadi. And, you know, I'm a bad wife. I should be watching the game, but I'm here with you, so I'm very happy.
If you're a bad wife, I'm the worst. I was like, hey, when are you on? She's like, I was on last night. I'm like, talk to you soon.
Sorry, I missed
I
it.
said this morning. She's like, I was on TV last night. I'm like,
Yeah, but I
talk to
usually
you
watch the
later.
games because it's the only way that I feel like I can be supportive.
Right.
If I'm not there physically at the game, then I have to watch it. Otherwise, I feel guilty.
Yeah, I understand
feel very
that.
guilty.
No, I
So
understand
at least
that.
the energy goes through the TV and hopefully somewhere in cyberspace.
He picks up on it.
Yeah.
Put it out in the ether.
Right.
Let me ask you a question about the professional soccer player. People as a trainer ask me all the time, which professional athlete do I think is the fittest, right? Is in the best shape. I have to imagine, I think soccer players, at least pro soccer players, will run an average of 10 miles a game, as if you're not a goalie. Or
yes.
somewhere in that.
Yeah. I can tell you how many calories they burn each game.
I mean, that's insane.
Do you want to know?
More than you can possibly imagine.
6,000.
6,000 calories a game?
Yeah.
I'm doing the wrong thing for a living. I should be a professional soccer player with Real Madrid or somebody else.
So they are fit.
6,000 calories.
Yeah, they are fit, and they have, you know, each sport has a different body type. And I've been looking a lot of soccer players. They have a body type.
Yes.
They have big thighs. They're tiny on top, but they run a lot. So the mid to lower body is very developed.
Right.
Do they train a lot? You'll be surprised.
They don't, do they?
You'll be surprised. Some of them choose to do extra on their own. Like someone like Ronaldo, you can tell he goes to the gym a lot more than the others.
Right.
It's an individual choice. They train on average 2 to 3 hours per day, and it's not
With the team.
With the team.
Not
And it's
in
a
the
lot
gym
of
by
running.
themselves,
It's not in
yeah.
the gym. Once a week maybe in the gym. They get a day free during the week, but the hardest work is during the game, and that's when they burn a lot. That's when they
Right.
work out the most.
Right.
And then it's not as much as you would think.
So when you finally get Christian at home, what is it, like 2 to 3 trips to Shake Shack a day, laying on the couch watching Bachelor? Like, do you guys binge
No,
watch
I tried
that?
to take him to a museum. We tried to go do normal family things.
God,
If it
you're
would be
amazing.
his choice, it would probably be what you said, because after the game they can eat.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Everything, right?
Yeah,
They must,
everything.
like,
And
give me an
anything.
example of what he'll sit and put down.
So it's
Because
not,
I asked Michael Phelps this in Beijing. I said, what do you eat after one of these like 5,000 calorie swims? And I almost threw up off the side because I couldn't even handle it. So I'm dying to know what he eats.
First of all, after the game usually it's really late. So
Yeah.
on the way home we'll go to a drive-through.
Of course.
It's horrible.
Yep.
And he'll order 3 cheeseburgers, fries, a shake, whatever he feels like, but it's never enough because he'll take the leftovers. And then the next day, it's breakfast time and he'll have 2 main courses. And I'm sitting there like, and you're still hungry? I feel okay right now. And then lunch comes and he's eating again, and it doesn't show, which is
Well, you're
yeah.
burning 6,000 calories a game. That's amazing.
But usually after the game they get very hungry.
Ravenous, I'm sure. And he's also young, right?
Yeah, relatively. but,
relatively
yeah,
young.
He's young. He's young.
Young enough that he's
I'm an
able
old
to-
wife.
Oh, I don't know about
Yes,
that.
yes.
I absolutely don't know about that. Do you like the lifestyle? I mean, it's a tough lifestyle. It's not glamorous by any stretch, what people think.
I don't wish it upon people. I don't think it's easy. It comes with a price. The fact that they won the league completely changed our life overnight.
How?
So from having a little bit of, quiet time and privacy, you have 0. Any kind of took over our lives in a good way, in a great way.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. Having kids, wanting to be normal, wanting to go shopping, wanting to go to a museum, like I said before, or the park, you always get stopped.
Right.
Well, not me, but
Right.
I'm the one people ask, can you take a picture of us? I'm like,
Yeah.
sure.
Does that make you feel bad?
No.
You
I
prefer he has the...
100%.
Yeah.
If I could be behind the scene for the rest of my life, I'd be very happy.
I've actually never said that sentence.
You take the front stage. Yeah. That's
I
fine.
throw that out there. When you clip a best of reel, make sure that one is on there, because that's what you're thinking about doing. Yeah, it's good and it's bad.
You
It's-
travel a lot.
Sure.
The kids get exposed to many good things. You get to do some touristy things when you go to a new country. So I won't complain that I was
Right.
in Bordeaux and Marseille and Provence this summer.
Yeah, you kind of suck a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of hate you.
So I do when they're training, I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
So it's not bad, but again, there's not a lot of normalcy to it.
And what do? You FaceTime or Skype or?
FaceTime loves us. We are on FaceTime many times a day, and I believe that the distance makes you communicate a lot more
Yeah.
and in better ways.
Oh, that's
you
really
get,
interesting.
Yeah, it's when you're home, you get home from work, you get lazy. It's all about the kids.
Right.
But when you're apart, you
have to
talk more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get to a common ground in a more respectful way, because
Sure.
you also don't want to fight when you're 5,000 miles away.
Right.
So it's nice.
Does your little one does he
FaceTime?
understand FaceTime?
100%. Yeah, he
Yeah.
gives blows kisses and he says papa, and he probably knows his father on the screen more than in real life.
Yeah, that's sad. And also the same as me sometimes. I mean, she's exactly the same way, and
But
she
it's
knows it.
it's life.
It's life.
We're dealing with it.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not forever. So
No, and so for people who think that to be married to a professional athlete is as glamorous as anything, it's so far from it. During the season, it's probably one of the hardest stresses that's placed on the spouse because you're in command, control, and in charge of absolutely everything.
of everything, and you don't want to give them a lot of stress, so you try to handle
Right.
a lot and tell them everything is fine.
Right.
Go play the good game,
Please, and
Right.
win and make, and then come home.
if
And
possible.
you take the kids for a year.
Right,
now.
and let me go to a spa.
Okay, so tell me how people can like follow him, because now I'm all about. Don't you guys want to know what Christian's doing right now? He's friendly.
Well, and apart from soccer, he's a really funny guy, so you have to follow him. His
Okay.
Twitter page is Fuchs Official, and he's very active on it. And he's a prankster, and he loves to get other players involved. So if you're curious about soccer and about what they do in their private life, once in a while, not
That's
all the time,
fantastic.
then
Do
you
it.
you do want to follow him on Fuchs Official.
That's awesome. I love that. And is he like that at home? Funny personality, the
Great
whole nine
personality.
yards?
Loves to have fun. Loves to laugh. Life is not that serious.
He's a professional soccer player.
Right.
That's amazing. You are also doing some other things in your spare time. You guys are like,
We have a few.
Clothing line?
We have a clothing line which came out of a joke.
and why shouldn't it?
And why
Obviously.
shouldn't it?
Most clothing lines
it
do.
came out of people in England making fun of his last name, which could be translated into a curse if you don't know how to spell it. His last name means fox in German, but it's Fuchs, and this saying came up, no Fuchs given, which means I don't care. And now there's a clothing line. You go to nofuchsgiven.com and you can see all the funny videos that he's done by being bold.
Because he doesn't give a fuke.
Right.
He just doesn't.
Exactly.
Right?
So we're doing that clothing line, which took off. Now we have a women's line, which is really, really sexy and fun. And we did a kids line, and my son was allowed to wear it in a public school in New York by the
Wow.
principal. So that was fun. And then we have the soccer academy, which we run once
Yeah.
a year out of the goodness of our heart, because we need the free time, but we're doing the soccer academy, which is very successful in New York City.
Awesome. Well, I will make sure that my little one builds up those quads because I want her to be involved in soccer.
It's a good sport.
It is. And I had a dream that we signed my 2.5-year-old up for karate because she needed more discipline. And then I woke up and I'm like, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, what if my little one went to karate? Like, that's so cute.
Yeah, she might like it.
And she might like it.
Yeah.
You're right, Danielle-san? So, what?
Wax on,
Wax on, wax off. She doesn't even know if I'm like that. Anyway, that's a joke for another time.
princess.
Yes, she's a little bit of a
That's
princess. Right. I'm going to follow Christian on Twitter because I'm already intrigued as to what they do. I used to cover sports and I know how crazy professional athletes can get. I can only imagine soccer when they're together for like a year straight. I am beyond fascinated to see your clothing line because I would like to be wearing this shirt.
You're gonna get
That's
one.
my whole mantra in life is basically,
Okay.
that. And let's get our little guys together.
Sounds like good.
I think that would be fun. Also, I don't have a guy, but I will get my little girl and you get your little guy.
Fine.
We'll put them together and we'll see
We'll
maybe
see
a
what
little
happens.
magic
You might want to
will
have them on
happen.
the show based on how well this one's going.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
we'll see,
Perfect.
we'll see.
Perfect. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. Will you come back?
I'll be here. I'm just a few blocks away.
Already love her. Thank you so much,
Thank
Rebecca.
you.
I
Thanks
really
for having
appreciate it. You got it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.